Hey, Dan from Sasquatch Gun Oil here. Just gonna do a little teardown reassembly of a Rock Island Armory 1911 A1. I feel like it's a pretty affordable platform for getting into the 1911. Maybe it'll be quick, maybe it won't be. Let's see how we go. First, we're gonna clear the weapon. So we check. We've got no magazine, no round in the chamber. Let the hammer down. Push down on this, there's a spring in there. Mine slides towards the ejection port. Pull that out nice and easy. But right in here, there's a little divot for the front of the slide catch, slide release. There's a button on the alternate side. You push there and you pull out. This guy right here goes through that hole there. This is a recoil spring that catches down there. This is the barrel link. And so this goes through the barrel link. Like that. You can see where it pokes through on the other side. That's what holds it in there. This guy sits there. There's a key on there. There's the barrel. That's that link. There's the pin. This has a lug. And then you can see that has clearance to slide towards the ejection port. And then you turn it the opposite way for that lug. I don't know if you can see that. That lug there to line up with the end of the slide. You have clearance to move it. Spring cap can slide in. Sits like that normally. Catches on the inside of that rim. Right like that. That's where it rides. Let's talk about the extractor. Right in here is the extractor. That's where the firing pin is. The extractor catches the edge of the brass. Catches the edge here. So when your slide comes back, it pushes against that and flings the brass out. And that little lip right in there is what catches it. To remove this plate on the back, that's the back side of the firing pin. That is what the hammer strikes. When that comes forward, the hammer strikes that. You can see that firing pin come forward. So, use this dude. There's probably better tools to use. Push it down. So you got to be careful when you pull this guy out, because the firing pin spring is going to let that firing pin come out of there. There's the back side of the firing pin. There's the spring. Here's the extractor. That's that lip I was telling you about. So then we'll give everything a quick wipe down. I like to get a few of these points where stuff catches, help keep corrosion from building up, keep things lubricated. I really wanted a 1911 for a long time, but I couldn't handle spending as much money as a lot of them go for. I felt like firearms should be relatively affordable and not have to spend a year's worth of working on it. Get all these wiped down real quick and we'll get on to the assembly portion. Just try to get some lube on all the contact points. I know it all looks pretty dry, but I like to err on the less is more with the lube. If you have too much, that can slow stuff down, as well as not enough. Let me stay in frame. I like these little applicator tips on the oil bottles for getting in those channels. So I put some in there and then I wipe it all down best I can, what I can reach. I've got a brush, but I forgot to grab it, and I don't feel like pausing the video to go get the brush. I clean this every time I go fire. So there's like a, what they call it, the rookie mark or whatever on your 1911 if you've put this in and forgot that it needs to be pushed in where this little pin is here, and you've slid it, which results in like a nice arc scratch in this area right here. I try not to do that. Let's put this back together. We got the extractor. Your extractor goes in here. Got your firing pin and spring, and you've got your door for the firing pin. What the difficult thing is holding this guy down and getting this in there. Try to push it down and get it down once. You can feel it kind of catch and hold. So the trick is to hold the extractor just right, and maybe there's one of y'all out there that has a little better trick for this than what I got, but I hold it this way to keep the extractor down with the use of gravity. There we go. And we're in. Extractor's flush. Firing pin's in there. Wipe our rails down one more time. Alright. There's a little trick to keeping this guy in there. That kind of locks into the top of the slide. The barrel does. There's some locking lugs up there that correspond with these lugs on the barrel. Like that. Let's get that link down there. This link is what we're working with. And you go till it's in the window like that. See if you can see that. And you take this guy, he goes in there like that. And then you pull the slide back. There's two cutouts. There's the slide catch here, the slide catch here, and then the slide release relief. Get it lined up, push it in, push it forward. There we go. Now, for the fun part, remember this lug here, right? So we want to make sure he's going to go in like that. So that lug's going to go in there. And you have to put this spring retainer, otherwise a projectile if you're not careful, because it goes in. Slide that the other way. That gives it the clearance. Push it down, and then I go one click and it'll hold it right on that edge. Then I regrip, grab here where the trigger guard is, push down, slide it around, let it go. We'll verify our function. See, we're on the slide catch. There's the relief for this slide retainer pin. Goes through the barrel pin and holds the slide in. No round in the chamber, no round in the magazine. That works. This is the grip safety. You can pull the trigger. That hammer won't drop unless you push the grip safety. You can push the grip safety, lower the hammer down. This also has a half cock. Will not fire on half cock even if you have the grip safety pulled down. Lower the hammer. And there we have it. That's my quick and probably a little dirty rendition of the 1911 A1 strip, clean, and reassembly. Thank you for watching. I like this Sasquatch gun oil. It's non-toxic and it won't stink up your area where you're working on your firearms. So if you want to do it in your kitchen, But some people like the smell of the old stuff. I don't, because that usually means it's a petroleum product. Thank you for watching. Happy Independence Day.